Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista here on YouTube, and today is another diamond paint with me while I continue to work on Treasure Studios Art Cherry Blossom by Lizzie Falcon, and I am really getting to the end of it now on that last square. So the weekend was decent. I'm discombobulated this morning because our internet has been out since yesterday morning, Sunday. Today's Monday, and my job starts in about 50 minutes. So I have to use my phone as a hotspot, which I'm not pleased about because we used it yesterday to watch TV, and I didn't realize that I'm limited or it's going to be slower. So they said there was an outage yesterday and they were fixing it, but the internet this morning was still not on. So I called the company and the woman is sending a signal to the modem and all that stuff. And she's like, okay, well, I'm going to have to send a tech out because I think it's the modem. And he wasn't coming until tomorrow. Okay. What can I do, right? And we rent the modem from them. So then she hangs up. I'm talking to my husband. She calls back and says, well, no, there is an outage in the area. So we're sending techs out right now. And I'm thinking to myself, I bet they didn't send anybody out yesterday because it was Sunday. Because it would have been fixed yesterday. So my husband's like, they don't know what the hell they're doing. So I'm praying to God it comes on quickly. So I can stop using my hotspot on my phone because I have like 3 gigabytes left. I think, 15 gigabytes a month, and then it starts going slower. Yeah, I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed. Okay. One funny thing that happened though. We went to Burger King on Saturday, and we pull up to the drive-thru, and young kid comes on, and before he even takes our order, you hear him say shit, and I busted out laughing. I was like, okay. And then we were given the order, and he's like, yeah, that sounds good. We were dying. We were laughing so hard. I got an Impossible Whopper. We went there for lunch. I really like the Impossible Whopper. But yeah, we hung around the house yesterday. Like I said, we had no internet, and groceries came, and we watched football game, and yeah, we didn't do hardly anything yesterday. Yeah, it was a pretty low-key weekend. Bill went fishing on Saturday for a couple hours, so I had some time to diamond paint and get some stuff done, and was getting stuff done in preparation for this week and all that. But yeah, because this Friday I have my appointment with the podiatrist and getting my hair done. So yeah. But okay, so today's story is the abduction of Dirk the Penguin. Yeah. So when Dirk the Penguin went to bed at SeaWorld on Queensland's Gold Coast, he probably didn't expect to wake up in a holiday apartment with 2 hungover Welshmen. So SeaWorld is located on the Gold Coast, Queensland, Australia. It is the region's premier marine park, oceanarium, and ride-based theme park. It promotes conservation through education and the rescue and rehabilitation of sick, injured, or orphaned wildlife. They also help to perpetuate animal breeding, including increasing their penguin ceremony. God, I cannot read today. You guys have to excuse me. Increasing their penguin colonies. Dirk the Penguin was bred in captivity and was part of a breeding colony. In April 2012, it was with great shock when workers turned up the next day to find the park had been broken into and Dirk was missing. Immediately, they turned to the security footage and watched in horror as two men broke into the park, swam with dolphins, antagonized the sharks, and abducted Dirk. Poor Dirk. So, Welshman Rhys Owen Jones, is that how you say that? R-H-Y-S? Rhys? And Carrie Mules had left the UK to work in Australia on working holiday visas. Jones was a former Royal Marine and his friend Mules was a bricklayer. They saw Australia as the possible beginning of a new life with good weather and a better quality of living. The night of the break-in, the two men had been at a beach party on the coast where, according to their own testimony, they had consumed at least 1.5 liters of vodka. They had been partying with new Australian friends when someone had the crazy idea to go and swim with dolphins. Of course, they couldn't do that without breaking into SeaWorld. One of their new drinking buddies, 18-year-old Australian James Vasilj, 18-year-old Australian James Vasilj, we're going to say Vasil, said he could get them into the park. Together, they ventured close to the security gate and managed to climb the fences into the oceanarium. The first port of call was the dolphin enclosure, where the two Welshmen fulfilled their drunken dream of swimming with dolphins. You big freaking dummies. Like, really? Next up was the shark tank, where one of them let off a fire extinguisher that alarmed the sharks. Why? Why would you do that? A park attendant later told reporters that had they slipped into the tank, that the chances of ending up in a morgue would have been highly likely, meaning the sharks would have killed them. For some reason, the pair found their way into the penguin pen, where a number of penguins had turned in for the night, including Dirk and his partner Peaches. Then, like a scene out of a Hollywood movie, the two men carried Dirk away from Peaches, took him over the border fence, and all the way back to their holiday apartment. And what was their end game, you big freaking dummies? Like, what were you going to do? So, being in their early 20s, Rhys and Carrie were no stranger to drinking on nights out and waking up with a hangover, except this time they not only woke up with a hangover, but woke up with a penguin waddling around the apartment. Shocked that they couldn't remember what had happened, and even more shocked at the penguin in front of them, the pair frantically tried to take care of it. They put Dirk in the shower and fed him with food from the kitchen cupboards, which seemed to work, but they didn't know how to take care of a penguin. You big freaking dummies! Realizing they were in a whole lot of trouble, they came up with a plan to release Dirk into the wild and make it look like he had escaped. Really? They took Dirk to a local river and put him in the water, thinking that would be the end of it. Not realizing the water that led to the river was shark infested. A local couple spotted the penguin a short while later and watched as it was chased out of the water by a suspected shark. The penguin was then chased back into the water by a dog. This poor penguin. Dirk. The witnesses searched for missing penguin in the news and found the story of a break-in at SeaWorld, who they contacted first before police were brought in. Less than an hour later, Dirk was rescued from the canal and returned to SeaWorld to be reunited with Peaches. Yay! Rhys, Carrie, and James were arrested shortly after and charged with trespassing and stealing and keeping a protected animal. Good. Dummies. They were all caught after Rhys and Carrie had posted selfies and videos with them and the penguin on their Facebook profiles. You big freaking dummies! What the? Why am I not surprised? Because people can't keep their yap shut when they do some dumb shit. They later pleaded guilty to the charges and were fined $1,000 Australian each. Both men stated their actions were immature and stupid, but there had been no malice involved. They wrote letters to SeaWorld and the Australian press apologizing for their actions. It was later suggested that had they walked into the wrong enclosure, not just the shark tank, then they would have met a fate far worse than waking up with a penguin. But for Dirk, the 7-year-old fairy penguin, he was exhausted after being recovered from the canal, as he had never been out in the wild before then. Yeah, I bet he was. He recovered well and became one of the more well-known names in the park. Big freaking dummies. Do not steal penguins, people. Come on now. Come on now. Do not do it. So I started reading. That's the end of the story. A happy ending for Dirk and Peaches. So I started reading a new book called Such a Perfect Wife. And let me read you the premise. Really, right now? Okay, so it's called Such a Perfect Wife by Kate White. So, blonde, beautiful, a loving mother, and missing since Monday. On a sunny morning in late September, Shannon Blaine sets off for a jog along the rural roads near her home in Lake George, New York. It's her usual AM routine, her me time, after dropping the kids off at school, except on this day she never returns. Is her husband lying when he says he has no clue where she is? Could Shannon have split on her own, overwhelmed by the pressures of her life? Or is she the victim of a sexual predator who had been prowling the area and snatched her before she knew what was happening? True crime writer Bailey Wiggins, on assignment for the website Crime Beat, heads north from New York City to report on the mysterious disappearance. An anonymous tip soon leads Bailey to a grisly, bone-chilling discovery. Every town has its secrets, Bailey reminds herself, and nothing is ever as perfect as it seems. She keeps digging for answers until, when it's almost too late, she unearths the terrifying truth. And I'm like, ooh, that is definitely my kind of story. And things are happening on my modem here. It looks like the internet's getting ready. Oh my God, the internet's back up. I can't even believe it. That quickly? It was that quick. Okay, guys, I am going, well, you know what? No, we are going to, if you bear with me for 1 second. I'm going to try to connect to the internet. And I'm back online. Thank Jesus. I'm telling you, I guarantee you, they did not send anyone out yesterday. Why is it saying I'm not connected? Just bear with me for a second because I want to read you my daily Stoic email. Okay, I'm connected. Okay. So the daily Stoic message today is called You Have to Lead Yourself First. It's hard to argue that our leaders are doing a good job. It doesn't matter what your political persuasion is, you probably feel that your MP, your president, your prime minister, your CEO, your council member is doing a poor job. The UN is proving to be not up to its tasks. The EU regulatory agencies, there are a few legislative or leadership bodies who are exceeding our expectations these days. So what do you do? The Stoics would say focus on what you control. That is their mantra. That is truly their mantra. They would urge you to practice what George Raveling calls the art of self-leadership. Or as Ray Kethledge and Mike Irwin titled their great book, they'd say you have to lead yourself first. As Seneca would say, real power is to be in your own power. He's talking about getting your own act together rather than bemoaning the fact that other people don't have theirs together. That's a good one. Instead of always bitching about other people, get your own shit together, right? So practice better habits, get informed, manage your emotions, see where you can contribute to your community. Lead yourself, lead your family. Imagine what the world would start to look like if everyone did this. Imagine what an example you could provide by being the first to start the trend. I think a lot of people tend to blame other things and circumstances and people for their own problems when we can all really do better as far as habits for sure. So I really like his daily email. So lead yourself first. And I can't even tell you how happy I am that the internet is up and my job starts in half an hour so I can actually breathe for the next half an hour. So I hope you guys all have a fantastic Monday. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.